go. Girl. A win is a win. Hey girl, hey, it's me, Amber D, and thank you so much for coming through for another video. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, girl, so we are in that cozy little week right in between Christmas and New Year. So I'm just sitting here keeping it cozy with my tea. I was actually gifted this relaxation tea set. It's a tea sampler set from a Secret Santa gift exchange I was involved in that week before, the Saturday before Christmas. And I saw this set. I'm pretty sure it was Dene Shell that was unboxing this set. I think maybe somebody had gifted it to her, or she found it, or she saw somebody and decided to try it, and she was talking about it on her channel. So I put it on one of my wish lists on Amazon, and my Secret Santa got it for me. And it's a yogi relaxation sampler tea set, and it has 8 different teas, and I've tried some already, but it comes like this, just like a bunch of different teas. And it has a bedtime tea, a blueberry sage stress relief, cinnamon and horchata stress relief, chamomile, honey and lavender stress relief, relaxed mind, soothing caramel bedtime tea, and a kava stress relief. And the one I have right now is just a relaxed mind. The relaxed mind one. It's this one right here. And they're all caffeine free because you know I don't do caffeine. But the main ingredient here is organic ashwagandha roots and then organic sage leaf. Out of the ones I've tried so far, it's not my favorite, but I am going to try all of them at least once. But anyway, right now, this week between Christmas and New Year, I always kind of, for me, I just kind of see it as a perfect time to do some reflection on what happened in the current year and what you want for yourself going into the next year. And last year, I got this idea from Jeronica Macia, one of my favorite creators here on YouTube, and I follow her on Instagram as well. And I think it was just around this time last year that I found her. It was like a few months before the end of the year last year. And she's the one that actually put me onto that pomegranate green tea that I'm always talking about. But at the end of last year, the week between Christmas and New Year, she was opening some cards that she had wrote to herself the year before the week between Christmas and New Year, where she had wrote down in each separate card, a Christmas card, a goal for the new year that she wanted to accomplish. And then so the last week of last year, she was going back and opening those cards and reflecting on what goals she had been working on, what goals she had accomplished, what goals she still needed to work on, what goals she hadn't even touched. So it was very interesting, and I liked the whole idea, so I decided to do it myself. I started on Christmas Day last year. As you can see, 12/25/2024, and it's still closed. I haven't opened any of them. Every day last year, I did one. It goes on from the 25th to the 26th, like so on, all the way to the 31st of 2024. And I wrote a different goal of something that I wanted to work on in 2025. And then I had the plan to open them up each day this week to see what goals I had accomplished and, you know, where I started at and where I'm ending at, just to kind of create a clearer picture for myself. So these are the cards that I went with. These are just cards I had left over at the house. Peace and love throughout the season. And this is the one I have for the first day I wrote a goal. Okay, this one was to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I did. I think maybe was it back in October, I think, that I hit that goal. And then my husband wrote a goal for himself on the side. I'm not gonna read his because that's his business. But that was that was the first goal that I wrote for 2025, was to get to 1,000 subscribers before the year's up. Same card. This is the one for 2020. This is the one for the 26th of last year. This is my savings goal. Okay. So my savings goal, my savings changed how I was saving throughout the year. I did save the amount of money that I wanted to save, but I ended up, instead of just keeping that money in my account or saving cash and just having it here at the house somewhere where I can actually see it, I decided to use that money to pay down I paid off one debt completely, and I paid off one credit card completely. Not that I have super high credit card debt. I make a point not to have super high credit card debt, but I did have one card that I didn't realize how much it had on there. And I wanted to get that paid off, so I stopped using it, and I used some of the money that I had been saving for my savings goal to pay off that card and then to pay off another debt. So this year I definitely want to have more savings goals. This is the first year that I got as far as I did on my savings goals. And this upcoming year, not only do I want to save a larger amount, but I just want to be able to keep that money and not use it towards something else. Even though that something else went towards a greater good, I wasn't just buying stuff with it. I still want to be able to save. And I did save other funds, but not specifically dedicated for my savings goal. So that's another thing that I want to carry on over into 2026. This is the one I did for day 3. Okay, well, kind of. This was my author goal for the year. I wanted to release 4 romance novels, which I did. I released a book in March, June, September, and December. And then it said attend at least 4 vendor events. I wanted to attend an event each quarter around my release date for a book. And I really had the hardest time finding vendor events. With Black vendors, I did find one. And I don't know, maybe whoever is running it was just super overwhelmed. They were never really getting back to me in any type of timely manner. So I ended up, since I was having a hard time finding a vendor event to attend, I switched my mindset and I just kind of worked up my author and book marketing in a different way. And it didn't work out how I thought a vendor market would work out, because it wasn't a vendor market, but it did work out in my favor. And I have seen growth in not only my author skills, but my book sales from the beginning of the year to now. So I'll count that as a win. And then my next one, this is my 4th goal that I wrote on the 28th. Okay, this one is a personal goal. It was more or less to be more open and honest, especially with my close relationships, to strengthen and grow closer. I wouldn't say that up until last year that I wasn't being open and honest, but I personally have a tendency to keep things to myself, keep them on the inside, and just kind of go through them and get through things on my own, and then maybe talk to people that I love and trust after I've already dealt with whatever the situation is, instead of just being open and talking to them about it while I'm going through it, whether I need their help with it or not. Just, being able to vent with the people that I love most, the people that are able to vent with me, being able to make those relationships a little more two-sided was something I definitely worked on this year. I can still see where I can do better on that particular goal. So that's definitely something I'm going to continue working on going into 2026. And then this was the 5th one from the 29th. Okay, this one was like a travel goal. I didn't go on a girls trip this year, which I did the year before. I did go on a girls trip in 2024, and I wanted to do another one in 2025, but I didn't. But I did end up going to the Elephant Sanctuary And that wasn't something I planned at the beginning of the year. So that was literally like the highlight of my year, to be able to go for my birthday on the morning of my birthday and hang out with the elephants. Highlight of my year. Best experience ever. So I'll still count my travel goals as a win, even though, again, that kind of changed what I was planning from the beginning of the year to how it ended up at the end of the year. And then goal number 6 that I wrote down on the 30th. Ooh! I got this goal. Just barely, girl. This is one of my body goals. I will move and stretch my body more on a regular basis, and I will get to and stay at 105 pounds. And girl, tell me why my last weigh-in, I finally met my goal of 105.4, and we are not turning back. We are not losing weight. We are not going back. I know most people are in the business of losing weight, and for people that, that struggle to lose weight, they know how hard of a journey, how long of a journey it is. It can take, you feel like you take one step forward and 2 steps back, and it's just like a whole thing. And for people that are naturally petite, that are trying to gain weight, that battle can be just as hard. And it took me a long time to gain 6 pounds. So I finally got there. That's not something I worked on all year. I will say that I had other goals that I was focused more towards in the beginning of the year, and I didn't even start working on my body weights, my gaining weight goals, until the last quarter of the year. And I made it, girl. Hallelujah. Okay, last one. This is the one I wrote on the 31st. This is goal number 7 for 2025. Consistency. My word of the year for 2025 was consistency. I will stay consistent on my savings goals. And I actually did. I found a new job. I started my new job this past summer in July. I got a raise at my 60-day review. And then just the week before Christmas, I was offered a raise and a promotion that will go into effect in 2026. So I will say that is a direct reflection of me staying consistent throughout the year, bettering myself, doing what I need to do to put myself in a better position in my career. And I feel like overall, honestly, when I said I was going to sit down and look through these, I figured there would be at least maybe 2 or 3 that I hadn't even touched on, that I completely forgot about. And I didn't. I worked on all of these throughout the year. I worked on all 7 of these major goals throughout the year. And I may not have reached every goal as I thought I would, but I definitely am better off having done this that week between, Christmas and New Year last year. I haven't started on doing this for next year, but I definitely plan to do something similar, whether it's just me writing down 3 or 4 goals in one card and sending it to the side, or whatever that may look like. But I'm definitely going to do something similar for my 2026 goals. And then the other thing I did different this year, that I've never done before, is I kept a little weekly wins box. This is just a box of wins for me. This box itself, it came in a set of 3. It's a coffee table book. I have the other 2 sitting there, but it's just a faux book, and it opens into a box, and I have 52 folded up sheets of paper, and each one of them has a win on it. Because like sometimes you'll come to the end of the year and you're not where you thought you were going to be. You're not riding that same high you were at the beginning of the year, and it just kind of seemed like you didn't get anywhere, or you didn't go as far or make as much progress as you wanted to. But when you really think back and look at it, and you break your year down month by month, week by week, you really did have a lot of small wins. And I wanted to be able to reflect back on that this week of this year. So just grabbing one randomly out. This is from March 24th of 2025. It says, "This past week I sold more copies of my book." So that is a win. That is definitely a win. Let's see. This random one is from June 2nd. This past week I I am not going to read this out loud. Girl. a win is a win. Okay, let's see. This one is from November 7th. I finished my 5th book and wrote the outline for my 6th. That's definitely a win. This one is on January 27th. Oh, this week I met my monthly savings goal. So as you can see, like I was definitely being consistent throughout the year. Just to do this at all, to be able to finish this and know that I have 52 weekly wins in here from 2025. I did one every week. There were a couple times where I went a few weeks without writing anything, so I would go back, I would pull out my calendar and see what I did those weeks and write down a win. But for the most part, I kept up with it and I did one win per week. And I'm going to have to go through all of these and read each one because, girl, just this is good. This is good. I highly recommend doing something like this. And just a way to reflect and look back on all the progress you made throughout the year, even though, like I said, I may not have completed every single goal, or I didn't, that goal didn't look what it looked like at the end of the year is what I thought it was going to look like when I first started or when I first, had the idea for it. But am I happy that I gave myself these two options as a way to look back and reflect on my year and make sure that, I was as consistent as I said I wanted to be, and I did complete a lot of the goals that I wanted to. So I'm happy I did this. I plan to do something similar again for 2026. Maybe not exactly what I did for 2025, but definitely something along the lines, and it'll be good. As soon as I figure out what it is, I'll let you know. All right, girl. So it's been a few days since I talked to you last, but we are officially in the new year. We are officially in 2026. So I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I got a little happy in the mail today. Me and husband have been out running errands. We had some lunch and everything. And then when I got back home, we checked the mail and I got a little happy mail in from Luxe Alinea. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. Luxe Alinea. But this is a brand from my YouTube homegirl, Simply Tanya Renee. Her and I have been a part of each other's community for a whole minute now. We both watched each other reach 1K, and we have been very supportive of each other. And she has a new brand out, and it's, like I said, it's called Luxe Alinea. There is the website there, and she has these beautiful silk pajamas and these super cute, fabulous fuzzy slippers with little pearl detail on top. And then she also has some digital products, one of them being a Soul Reset journal. And then she also has a physical copy of the Soul Reset journal, which I got here. So this is, it says the Soul Reset, Busy But Aligned, and a playbook for women doing it all without losing themselves in the process, by Tanya Lee. So I am super excited to have this, especially going into this new year. And it has this cute little card, thank you card. And then it says, as a thank you for supporting Luxe Alinea in our early stages, enjoy 10% off any future order through May 31st, 2026. Oh, thanks, girl. I'm definitely gonna be using that. But it has quite a bit of usefulness in here. It has a how to use this book page so you can get the most out of what this book is actually for. And then it has some simple instructions, and then it has an area where you can actually walk through and answer some questions and put some information down about what it is that you're trying to reset and where your goals, where you want your goals to take you. What area of your life is most out of sync? I like that question. What does peace in that area look or feel like? These are very good questions. Very, very good questions. And then it goes on and it has a section for reclaiming your calendar, quick wins to protect your bandwidth, how to not be doing so much to where you're burning out. I've definitely been there in the past. It has some areas about quick meals to free up your time, even some recipes. She does have some gardening content on her channel, which I don't garden. I have the least green thumb of anybody that I know, but I love her gardening content. I think it's so interesting to see her literally grow food in her backyard. So, and then it has like a daily reset area for weekly energetic themes. I'm loving this. Tanya, tea, girl, I love this. Ooh, rejuvenation tea, detox tea, energizing tea. Different recipes for like a bath soak. It has lavender and Epsom salt. Girl, like she literally thought of everything. There's an oatmeal and honey milk bath for soft skin. Girl, even a playlist. Girl, she literally thought of everything. There's different activities, different things about how to grow your business and your side hustle. She literally thought of everything. I'm so excited to kind of go through this and fill out some of this whole thing and just kind of get my 2026 in order so that I can be where I want to be at the end of 26, and not just figuring out how I can start over in 2027. But I'm definitely going to work on this. But what I'm actually going to work on right now is my little goals board. I have this picture frame and I have my different categories up here, and then I have different goals. These are the ones that are left over, but I want to work this a little differently going into 2026. So I'm going to take these colorful post-its off, and I'm going to use this same picture frame, but I have these dry erase markers. So I'm just going to write on here my different goals with the dry erase markers, and then check everything off as I go. All right, girl. So this is what I came up with. I have my different categories up here: finance, house, personal, and YouTube. And then I have week 1 through 4. Each month that has a 5th week, or at least most of a 5th week. I'm not going to have a specific goal set for week 5. If I feel like I'm caught up and I want to get ahead on my goal progression, I'll use week 5 to do that. If maybe I'm a little bit behind, I'll use week 5 to get caught up. If I am caught up on week 5 and I don't want to get ahead, I'm going to show myself grace and just maybe take a little break from reaching all the goals on week 5. But this is what we have so far. And then this little section down here is for books read. I'm going to keep track of how many books I read this year. I have a goal of 75. So I'm going to be starting my first book tomorrow. My first book of the year, I'll start tomorrow. But this is what I have so far. So I'm going to go in and fill in my goals for each week, for each category. Now, there are some goals that won't have, something to do each week. So maybe for house, I may only have something to do for week 3 in this whole month, or personal, or, you know, YouTube, I may have something for week 1 and week 3, and that's it, or whatever the case may be. But this is how I have it separated for myself. All right, girl, but that is it for me. I'm going to get back into my soul reset journal, and I will definitely keep you updated on how this is going for me. But I thoroughly appreciate you for ending 2025 and starting 2026 with me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.